Persona 5 The Phantom X has been out for about 3 months now. When it was released globally, everyone was playing it non-stop, and it seemed like it was going to be the perfect Persona game. But one thing definitely stands out from this entry compared to many of the mainline entries, and that's why I'm here to compare it to Persona 5 Royal, to determine which one truly is the definitive game. Make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe, and make sure to leave a comment down below, and let's get started. Persona 5 Royal is a beautiful evolution of what we got with Persona 5 on PS3. It pretty much enhanced anything and everything about the entire game. The style is still there, the flashiness is still there, and there's so much more love poured into it. Comparing it to Persona 5X really makes Persona 5X looks like a Persona 5 knockoff. When, to my knowledge, Persona 5X is just supposed to be the Chinese release of Persona 5? Like, I don't know why these two games are so drastically different. Like, didn't China also receive Persona 5, like, the original game back in 2017? Like, why did they have to have a second version, and why does the second version suck? Don't get me wrong, myself and many others were very excited to see what this game had in store for us. But I feel like the game doesn't take itself seriously. When you compare Persona 5 and you have people like sex offenders and literal murderers, and then you look at Persona 5X with the Subway Slammer, it's very clear to see which game is taking itself more seriously. Not to mention that many of the bosses and their themes are very much derived of what you got in Persona 5, but so many things are just copy and paste. The whole opening act literally steals Persona 5's little opening tutorial and just replaces it with Wonder instead of Joker. You have Lufel take place of Morgana, even though they're pretty much just the same characters. Like, Persona 5X is trying to be so much more than what it really is. It is just a dumbed down version of Persona 5 at its core. Hey, did I mention that Persona 5X is a lame copy and paste of what we got with Persona 5 Royal? Because it's true. Persona 5X, when you're playing through the game, literally throws you right into the action. You're given a little opening cutscene with Joker and Wonder, which makes zero sense whatsoever, and within an hour of gameplay you're already thrown to your first palace. What's your reason of being there? What's your reason of doing anything? You're able to sense that there's danger around you, and I guess, yeah, you could be the good guy, but why do we have to go through an entire palace just to, stop someone from hitting someone in the subway? Like, yes, the cops aren't doing anything about it, and that's kind of the whole thing with Persona 5X, is that's how they get the cops to pay attention. But when you look at Persona 5 Royal, anything that anyone is doing affects so many people. Anything you do in Persona 5 Royal really feels like you're helping everyone around you, and not just the couple of people involved in the situation. Not to mention you aren't thrown right into there, you have a reason of being there, and you have a reason to want to be rebellious. Wonder literally has everything handed to him on a silver platter. He's just a nobody who's trying to do good in the world. Where Joker, he really does feel like he is doing some good in the whole world. Not to mention you feel pressure from whatever boss is approaching you. There's always something going on and always a reason to keep pushing forward. Where Persona 5X, it's not really as serious. Like, yeah, you could tell there's something going on and you know something can happen in the future if you don't do something about it, but it's never anything nearly as drastic as what you would get in Persona 5 Royal. This is the one time in this video you're definitely going to get Persona 5X over the Royal. Both games have things to do, such as playing baseball, reading books, working part-time jobs, going to school, anything like that. But Persona 5X, being a mobile free-to-play game, also includes many online modes. Essentially just extra battles to get you on the leaderboard and things like that. Not to mention that there's also a soccer mode, a music mode very reminiscent of that, of Persona 5 Dancing, and other things like that. If you want variety, Persona 5X definitely has you covered. But if you want quality, I still think Royal, at least in the sense of trying to build bonds with your comrades, is still the better way to go if you want a deeper, in-depth knowledge of your teammates. It's kind of hard to do that when Persona 5X has so many characters and adding more and more characters with every update. But Persona 5X is definitely not short of things to do, that is for sure. Another thing I could throw in here is comparing how things are done between the two games, because in Persona Royal, you are given a limited time to do everything. You're on a calendar, So you have days to advance in the story, and days to do fun things. Whereas Persona 5 The Phantom X, you have activity points given to you every real-time day, but you're not limited or told when you have to do certain story things and when you're able to do fun things. So with Persona 5 Royal, it does really feel more important based on what things you decide to do, where Persona 5X, you can kind of just do whatever you want whenever you want. So if that's a make or break for some people, I guess that's something else to consider. Alright, let's talk about characters. Persona 5 Royal, being a mainline game, has a set number of characters. These are the characters you will meet and you will stick with from beginning to end of the entire story. Persona 5X, however, being a free-to-play game, has a gacha system. There is characters that you meet in the main story. However, you don't get as many main characters as you do in Persona 5 Royal, probably due to the fact that it is a smaller, much simpler story. However, there is many more characters in the form of cognitive thieves, which are essentially just phantom thieves of other people you have met in the real world, even though that they're technically not actual phantom thieves. However, every single character still has their own social ranks, their own story and personalities, and they all operate the same way inside of every palace and battle. It should also be added that Persona 5X actually has all the Persona 5 characters, and if the Chinese version of the game is to be compared to the global version of the game, we'll be getting characters from other mainline Persona games as well. If you're worried about not getting characters like Joker or Ryuji or An or whoever, you will actually get them in Persona 5 The Phantom X. It's just a matter of how long and when. So comparing Persona 5 Royal and Persona 5X when it comes to characters is literally a battle of quality versus quantity. If you want characters with extreme depth that will stick with you from beginning to end, you want Persona 5 Royal. But if you want lots and lots of characters and you don't mind the grind session just to unlock everyone's stories, Persona 5X is the way to go. I'm tired of everyone saying Persona 5 The Phantom X has bad music. This has been an ongoing thing that I've been seeing online, that people keep saying Persona 5 The Phantom X's music is bad. My question is why? I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's better than Persona 5 Royal. If you're going to sit down and listen to one of these games' OSTs, I will tell you Persona 5 Royal every single time. But I will not tell you that Persona 5 The Phantom X's music is bad. It is literally more Persona 5 music, including some songs with saxophone, which I don't even think there was a single song in Persona 5 Royal that had saxophone. The fact of the matter is, no matter which game you play, whatever song you hear does fit the theme of whatever it is you're doing, wherever you are. Even just filler songs, it all just fits and blends perfectly. Persona 5 Royal, you'll definitely get more variety and high quality, but Persona 5X still has that same quality and polish of music as Persona 5 Royal did. Listen to either game's soundtrack, they are both amazing, but if you need more music, definitely listen to Persona 5 Royal. Both games have a reason to exist, and both games have something to stand for. If you want a game that is a full experience, beginning to end, 100-hour playthrough, to do as much as possible to get developed into a rich story with great music, great characters, play Persona 5 Royal. But if you're still on edge about even playing a Persona game, you've never played a Persona game before, try out the Phantom X. It's definitely not as good as a mainline Persona game, I will tell you that now, but it still gives you more than enough to do and still has the core gameplay of what makes a Persona game. If you want me to be critical and just tell you which one's better than the other, Royal definitely has more polish, Phantom X has more things to do. Persona 5 Royal versus Persona 5X is a battle of quality versus quantity. Royal knows what it wants to do from the beginning, and it holds it all the way to the end, all through 100 hours of gameplay or so, where Persona 5X simply just tries to do too much. It's not bad by any means, but it's no Persona 5 Royal. But what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. Am I overpraising Persona 5 Royal? Am I being too critical of the Phantom X? Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.